Hey, how's it going? You want to wait till more people get in? Hey, how's it going? You want to wait till more people? Sorry about that. All right. I just want to test things out. So I'll try to let some people come in. Okay. We'll start very soon. Remember, if you're having difficulty getting notifications, make sure you unsubscribe, then resubscribe, unhit that notification bell, then re-hit that notification bell. Okay. Let's see if anyone has showed up. This might take a while, but hopefully we'll what we need. All right, I'm going to see if anyone is here before we get started. I know I keep saying that a couple of times, but I want to make sure. All right. Rhea Black by Design, welcome. Nice to see we got some people. Let me do some last minute invites. But we're going to have some interesting topics to talk about today. All right. Of course, the one that's being talked about, one of the big topics that's being talked about is the funeral ceremony of Nipsey Hussle. That was the rapper who unfortunately died a couple weekends ago. He was shot and killed by an individual named Eric Holder, and he's the prime suspect, and he's now in court. So there was a lot of people that were at this funeral, a lot of celebrities. You even had the Nation of Islam at the funeral. Um, of course, the family was there. Um, and I think a couple YouTubers was able to get coverage of the funeral that I looked at earlier. But Nipsey Hussle, he was one of the real ones, real talented rap artist, and he also was into business and real estate. That's why he had his own business, which was the Marathon, which was a retail clothing store. So he wanted more black people involved in owning our own business. He was fighting against gentrification. That was the reason why he got into doing his own business. And we ended up losing him. Who knows what more he could have done if he was still around, still alive. Okay. All right. Hold on, let me do something real quick, and then I want to know what y'all saying in the chat. All right, we got two people watching. But yep, we lost a good one. Let me see if we can actually maybe show some stuff. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna try to find some. All right, here was a eulogy. Snoop Dogg was saying some stuff about at the funerals. We're gonna show a little of that as soon as I can share my screen. All right, that was from Snoop Dogg talking about the relationship of Nipsey Hussle and Laura London. So yes, we lost a good one. And hopefully there'll be more people like Nipsey Hussle that will get into real estate. And this is why we also need to stop black on this. Well, I don't like the term black on black, but we need to stop killing each other like that. What that Eric Holder did. Guys like Eric Holder need to be dealt with. He was the reason why that our community is being ruined. And then we also believe that Nipsey Hussle was possibly a target of a bigger hit because of the fact that he was trying to do positive things for the black community. That may have also been the reason why that he may have been targeted by outside forces. But anyway, I know a lot of people are talking about, but let's get into some other topics. We're gonna try to get into a lot of different topics. So I know this one is kind of old, but you got racism running rapidly. So we're gonna talk about this man here named Josh Edwards. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So we have a racist issue. White supremacist named Josh Edwards was accused of kidnapping, drugging, and raping a black woman. This is why more black men need to protect the black women in our community. Let's see this video.
37-year-old Joshua Edwards, Escambia County Sheriff's officials say he began his crime spree last night around 11 o'clock at a gas station, carjacking a woman at gunpoint, kidnapping her, and later sexually assaulting her. The two driving around, according to investigators, overnight, even crossing state lines into Baldwin County before crashing that first vehicle. He carjacked a second woman just before 8 this morning and would later run out of gas. Now, a man who gave him a ride called 911 after dropping him off at a Pensacola Walmart and reported his suspicious behavior. Investigators closed in on the scene very quickly, set up a perimeter, and found him behind a nearby strip mall.
Yeah, you get people like that. You get people like that going around attacking black women, attacking children and stuff like that. And this is why we need to protect black women as black men. We need to protect black women. So, because we also, we had the incident at Texas, that woman was being punched in the face by some racist. So yeah, this is an issue that's going on. We're gonna have to deal with. This is why we need to defend ourselves, learn how to defend ourselves as much as possible. All right. Let's see here. There was something I wanted to bring up. If I can find it first. Oh, okay. Here's what I wanted to bring up. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago. You had the fraternal of police do a blue line protest against Kim Foxx because Kim Foxx decided, and the prosecution decided, to drop the charges against Jussie Smollett. Not in defense of Jussie Smollett, but as you know, Jussie Smollett was accused of lying and making a false report about him being attacked by Trump supporters. Those Trump supporters that he claimed attacked him turned out to be Nigerian who were wearing masks. But you know, there's a lot of black people who support Trump, and you know, some of those foreign-born blacks. The reason why they'll support Trump is because they come from countries that don't believe in some of the liberal stuff that happens here in this country, like the approval of LGBT. So Nigerians, I think Nigeria is a country that does not have laws that protect LGBT. So they probably couldn't stand Jussie Smollett. So Jussie Smollett claimed that they attacked him because they probably can't stand him being a openly gay black male. And they happen to work for the show that is produced by openly gay black male. But when the charges they had that could have landed Jussie Smollett 16 years in prison, they all got dropped. And then not only did the police get angry, they started going after Kim Foxx. Now some people say this is karma for Kim Foxx because she decided to go after R. Kelly even though there was no evidence that he committed any crimes. So they tried using R. Kelly's past. And this is not me defending R. Kelly, but many people are saying that this could be karma for Kim Foxx. See, because they were all happy. Hey, black man being brutally honest, welcome to the show. They were all happy. Oh, by the way, if anyone wants to be in the live stream, in the panel, I'm about to start sharing the link to the live stream. Hey, Daryl, how's it going? This is for anyone who wants to be on the live stream. But many people say it's karma for Kim Foxx over the R. Kelly situation. So if R. Kelly decides to use this to help his case, his situation, him and his lawyers are probably thinking of a strategy to do that right now by using the fact that people are going after Kim Foxx and are trying to even get her to step down. Now, there are some people defending Kim Fox, like Jesse Jackson. But like I said again, is this karma for the R. Kelly situation and going after black men? Maybe. This is not me defending R. Kelly. Like I said, if he actually did those heinous acts, then yes, he too also needs to be held accountable. Just like if Jesse Smollett truly did lie, he too needs to be held accountable. But so far, there's no evidence proving that he truly lied. So they can't arrest him or put him on trial without any evidence. They're gonna have to drop all the charges until there's more proof whether he told the truth about being attacked or whether did he lie. And they said that even the FBI's case may end up going in favor of Jesse Smollett because the evidence is kind of weak in their investigation as well. That could be against him. But it's too weak, so he may be scot-free. But if Jesse did lie, Jesse put a lot of black people and the LGBT in danger, because if racists decide to go mass attack on whites and LGBT, what's going to happen is they're going to look at Jesse Smollett's situation and they're going to say, you just making it up and stuff like that. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Just telling the straight up truth. But right now, I'm about to click off and I'm about to show you something else. Speaking of LGBT, there are LGBT that are also LGBT people who are criminals and murderers. A group of young children were killed in a murder-suicide by a lesbian couple. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm trying to find a picture. Let's see here. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna try to see if I can find the tab that I found that what was going on with that situation. But yeah, now first of all, before I show the picture, right here it is. Sorry if it took a while, but I had to find it first. A court ruled that these two lesbian, possibly racist couple who are abusing their kids, that they were considered an act of a murder-suicide. Now, this picture is important is because the little boy with the hat, he was known as the little boy who hugged the cop during the incident involving, I think, in one of the police shootings where an unarmed black man was killed. And it was supposed to be, they were trying to do some kind of, that black people and cops should unify to stop the killings between one another, mostly by the racist cops. And some people called the kid that he was being raised by coons or he was cooning. But in actuality, that was not 100% the case, or at least not part of the case. He may have done that because he was hoping someone would, it was a cry for help because, or that he was being forced by the lesbian couple to do that because they may be cops supporting racists. Another saying that the little boy may have hugged the cop because he was actually trying to call for help because he and his adopted siblings were in serious danger, but help came too late as they ended up, when I bet you people were starting to catch on. So what the couple did was they tried to force their kids into a car or something, and they were going to drive off a cliff and commit suicide. And the judge ruled it a murder suicide because they probably, the kids were probably being abused, and the world was starting to expose it. And they didn't want the kids being saved if they can't, because they probably thought that the kids were going to be taken away because people were starting to find out that they were being abused. So basically, it was, if we can't have these kids, then no one will. And that is what put the kids in even worse danger, to the point they started committing suicide. They committed suicide, but took the kids with them and killed them before committing suicide. So, yeah. And that's why some people are saying that more black kids should be adopted by black families, responsible black families, families that look like them. And there's been laws to try in certain states to try to pass that in, or certain people and councils are going to try to help it make it easier for black families to adopt black kids. That's why you had Ethiopia ban foreigners from adopting their children, and also because there was an incident a long time ago where Ethiopian children were being abused. And then there was one incident where an Ethiopian child died by the hands of a rich family that adopted her, and turned out to be very abusive. And there was even a time when people say that gay couples, and I bet you they're still saying this, more people are starting to believe it, where they said that gay couples should legally not be allowed to adopt children. There was even laws for it, but ever since more gay rights came in, they have stopped some of these laws that prohibited adopted gay couples from adopting children. But now some people, especially after seeing that incident, are going to try to find a way to bring some of those laws back because of that. But yes. All right. All right. Let's bring this up. So, in the state of California, I forgot what state this is. I think it was California. But a Latino gang had a history of racism against black folks, to the point where they were firebombing houses. So now they recently did a trial where now the gang members are being sentenced, or at least one, for firebombing. I guess they were found guilty, but let's see what this video had to say. Sorry about that.
You on the stories we're working on today. Here is the rundown. There have been arrests in the kidnapping of an Orange County tourist in Uganda. Kim Endicott and her guide were taken at gunpoint last week in a national park. The kidnappers had demanded a $500,000 ransom. This morning, Ugandan police won't say how many people are in custody.
Sorry.
But we do know they've been conducting warnings going into effect.
I thought this thing was supposed to show it, but I don't know why they didn't use it. But apparently there was a number of firebombs in California, and it was a Latino gang that did it. So this individual by the name of Hernandez was supposed to have been the lead gang leader, ringleader, who ordered the member, and I guess also by the Mexican mafia and prison gangs, Hispanic gangs, were ordered to start attacking black people to get them to move away from California or certain neighborhoods by firebombing their place of living, including their homes. This is why a lot of black people are now questioning the so-called Black and Brown coalition. Why more black people are now starting to say that the Black and Brown coalition does not or never has existed. And they're rightfully so to believe that, because you got a lot of Hispanics that certify, especially light-skinned, white-skinned Hispanics that try to identify as white, to the point where they even will act racist towards black people, because they also want certain communities so that more of their family members will take over the properties and keep blacks out of certain areas. That's why a lot of people saying that why illegal immigrants are trying to take over California, so that they can claim all the land and get rid of all the black people. So there is no black and brown coalition. We'll work at the same job, but there's no real alliance, because there are some white Hispanics, especially, that do not like black people, and the fire bombings prove it. So when I hear some of these so-called civil rights leaders or these so-called black politicians talk about a black and brown coalition, they're just talking BS. Because if there was a true black and brown coalition, then why are they being as racist as non-white Hispanics? And some of them become cops that shoot at unarmed black people. Look what happened. The Philando Castile, the person who shot him was a Hispanic man. So, yeah. So, now speaking of firebomb, there was an arson who was burning black churches. And it turned out the person who was doing the churches, who was if I can find that individual's picture, but turns out he's the son of a police chief. Yep. That individual turned out to be the son of a police chief or some kind of police deputy in the police force. And he was arsoning houses. All right. So I'm trying to find it. Oh, wait, here it is. Here's the face of evil that we're going to show. So, yes, he is the son of a deputy, and he was burning black churches in Louisiana. He goes by the name of Holden Matthews. Remember the name, remember this image. This guy is most likely a racist. He is a racist. And he thinks he's gonna try, and I bet you he's gonna try to get away with it because I bet you the deputy is gonna have some connections to try to get him off the hook. But Holden Matthews is the suspect or the perpetrator of a number of African American populated churches being burned in the state of Louisiana. So when he's found guilty and his father can't save him, well, he needs to be thrown underneath the jail. Extremely underneath the jail. All right. So he was doing this, I think, last week or something. And then there was the fire marshal. He held the press conference on Thursday, I think, of last week, where he talked about the incident. So, yes. I think this is one of the churches, St. Mary Baptist Church, Port Baines, the Great Union Baptist Church. And these are just some of the churches or all the churches that were burned down by this cowardly individual. And we know race played a part to it because these were black churches, which means he had a huge vendetta against the black community and figured that the weakest among us that he could target it would have to be the churches, because that's exactly the same thing that Dylan Roof did, only he brought a gun and shot at church members. He knows that one of the black people's weakest points will be the church. They ain't going to the hood to firebomb any gang Crippin, especially no Crippin blood territories, because they talk about how we should stop black people should stop being involved with gangs and stuff, but they ain't targeting these when racists want to kill black people or punish black people, they ain't going after those gangbangers, the black people who do harm to other black people or do harm to the white community. There are gang members and black gang members who are known to target outside of the race who go after Asian gang members, Hispanic gang members, white people, even white racists. See, and that's why a lot of these racists don't go targeting no gangbangers or no black people who can fight back, or no pro-black militant Malcolm X, Black Panther style black people who are more aware of the situation, the climate that they're in when it comes to this era of Trump and whatsoever. So they attack the weakest, the soft targets, clueless, mindless black people and people of the black church, especially black people who got that church mindset, who will just forgive the white racist, or who will not carry no weapon or no fighting because their religion does not, they believe in a certain part of the religion that does not include fighting or violence of any kind, even if it's self-defense. Like they believe in not carrying weapons or having weapons in the premise. So that's what Dylan Roof did. He targeted that particular area and no particular type of people and within the black community. He was not going to shoot at no gangbangers, because if he missed and there were any left alive, what if they had guns and shot back? And that's why Holding Matthews was not going to burn down no gang territory. He was going to burn down the church. The black church has been the easiest target when it comes to targeting black establishments that are not heavily protected. This is not being mean to the black church or anyone who goes to the black churches, but this is the truth. This is how these racists act. They study who they can target in the black community that's not going to put up a fight, and then who can try to make sure that black people are afraid to fight back. And that's why some of these black churches are going to have to start putting more security. They're going to have to learn how to bring that gun to that building, or get some kind of volunteer security, and they may have to carry something or learn some fighting moves, because their job would be to protect that church. They're going to have to do certain lockdowns if necessary, because that's who these racists are targeting. They know if they really want to kill a number of black people or that are not going to fight back, the church is the easiest target. So anyone that goes to these easier targets, going to have to convince those people that you're going to have to start showing some backbone, start maybe having community church defense classes at them churches, or start having some armed security, both day and night shift, because these racists are getting emboldened. What makes it worse is he's the individual who's doing it, who's now about to be in court. He is the son of a deputy. That means he has connections. So they're going to definitely try to get him off, because if that father is that way, if he was the one that was teaching that son racist, number one, that means the father should not even be in that position as a deputy, because what if he was the one that was teaching his son to be that hateful to black people? The fear would be that he will be a flight risk. Like I said, he has connections. Being a simple deputy gives you power. Being anyone with a badge, including even a deputy or a state trooper, gives you some kind of power, and sometimes that power leads to certain connections. that can help to try to get that son off. Especially in this era where you have a lot of racist cops. Now you're going to have their children, the families of some of these racist cops, starting going after us too. The burning of the churches proves it. So yeah, one of the bad something's gonna have to be dealt with. One of the worst things other than a racist is a coon. Right now we're gonna talk about one of these coons, these Sambos, these traitors in the black community that need to be dealt with. And here's one individual that needs to be dealt with. She already is facing her karma, but in the end of the day, it should be us that be dealing with our own coons and stuff. All right. This individual right here, Candace Owens, or should I say Coon Dance Owens. Coon Dance Owens. She ended up in a congressional hearing where she was defending white nationalism, saying that it's not bad, that the worst things is black on black crime and fatherless and abortion. Now, one thing, truth is, yes, those incidents do also hurt the black community. No fathers in the household does hurt black families, especially it hurts the other black males in that family. Without a father, their black sons won't have a male guidance if there's no other male guidance. Abortions do put populations at risk because it was a Margaret Sanger who originally created abortions to convince black women that if they can't raise children, instead of putting up for adoption, just kill them before they're even born. But today, more women do it because abortion was also meant to kill off pregnancies of women that can't afford raising children and can't go to adoption, and who have been the victims of rape and sexual assault. But Margaret Sanger's original goal was to kill black children before they were even born, so that they can reduce the population numbers of the black community using abortion. But see, that's the thing. What Candace Owens, Coon Dance Owens doesn't realize. She's saying that the black people's biggest worries is black on black crime, absentee fathers, and abortion. But what we just said, Margaret Sanger was a white woman. You see, white people actually created those things. Candace Owens. See, this is why Candace Owens is dangerous. White people actually created some of the stuff that hurts black people, even if it's other black people using it to hurt other black people. Black people selling drugs to help other black people who actually put that idea in certain weak, criminal black people. White racists in the government, they planted drugs and people in the mafias, racist criminal organizations, and even the government tried to make deals with black criminals, black drug dealers, to sell it to their own people. And even crooked cops would be in the payroll, or the gang members will be in the payroll of the cops to sell the drugs to pick people. And then the cops will go in and arrest any black people that had drugs on them, and they would stab the drug dealers in the back and then arrest them too. It was black people, it was white racists that created black on black crime. They even created black on black. Yeah, white racists created black on black crime. Here's how. They tried to find weak-minded black people to sell them weapons, embolden black criminals to destroy their own neighborhoods instead of protecting it. Like they were what the gangs were originally meant to do, was to protect the neighborhoods, but the police and other racists corrupted the criminals to killing their own community. Or the mindset of self-hate. Then also there's the colorism, how white people favored biracials and light-skinned black people more than they will ever favor dark-skinned people. That's how colorism. Black people didn't create colorism. Light-skinned black people didn't create dark-skinned people definitely didn't create colorism, but neither did light-skinned black people. Biracials who had black in them didn't create colorism. It was white supremacy. But Candace didn't realize that. You see, Candace, and look at Candace Owens. See what cooning and betraying your own people can do. See, Candace Owens is getting her wake-up call. Here's an example of her getting her own wake-up call.
Mr. Chair.
See, Candace Owens was part of some kind of rally or some kind of thing, and this is what she said. So, shoot. You know what? I still have it, but we're going to play this anyway.
Any problems at all with the word. Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. So in thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the.
Notice some white people over here kind of backed away because they wanted the black face saying it, and she got criticized for it. So now she's at this congressional hearing, and here's what happened.
In congressional hearings, a minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German. Everybody to be German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Kirchhoff. Ms. Owens said, quote, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. So when people try to legitimize Adolf Hitler, does that feed into white nationalist ideology?
It does, Mr. Liu. I know that Ms. Owens distanced herself from those comments later, but we expressed great concern over the original comments.
First of all, look how, do you see how Candace Owens looked? She looked embarrassed. Now I'm going to try to find a clip where she's actually speaking. So let's see if I can find, oh, that's just another caption. I'm trying to find where she was speaking. All right, here it is.
Over and over again about Black conservatives when they have the audacity to think for themselves and become educated about our history and the myth of things like the Southern Switch and the Southern Strategy, which never happened.
You mentioned, I think.
Hold on, yeah, well, basically, she looked, well, basically what it is she looked all pissed off and stuff. She thinks she was getting scolded. She felt embarrassed.
Every acre of your land adds up to your own piece of.
I'm trying to see if I could find more clips. If not, then that's understandable. But yep, Candace Owens is getting embarrassed. She's getting embarrassed. She did all that buck dancing, and it was all for nothing.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Mr. Collins, thank you for having me here today. I received word on my way in that many of the journalists were confused as to why I was invited. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, say that in good conscience would make the argument that America is a more racist. Person sitting behind me is my 75-year-old grandfather. I've always considered myself to be my grandfather's child, and I mean to say that my sense of humor, my passion, and my work ethic all comes from the man that is sitting behind me. My grandfather grew up on a sharecropping farm in the segregated South. He grew up in an America where words like racism and white nationalism held real meaning under the Democrat Party's Jim Crow laws. My grandfather's first job was given to him at the age of 5 years old, and his job was to lay tobacco out to dry in an attic in New York. And you have Democrat Hispanics, gays, and Muslims into helping them censor dissenting opinions, ultimately into helping them regain control of our country's narrative, which they feel that they lost. They feel that President Donald Trump should not have beat Hillary. If they actually were concerned about white nationalism, they would be holding hearings on Antifa, a far-left, violent white gang who determined one day in Philadelphia in August that I, a Black woman, was not fit to sit in the restaurant. They chased me out. They yelled.
I think that's all I'm going to play for now. But yeah, she's dealing with people at the congressional hearing. And I thought this was the same individual that said that racism didn't exist. Or was it someone else? But she's feeling racism from both Dems, and even some of her Republican buddies are distancing herself away from her. Now, speaking of buck dancing mammies, let's see. Who's another mammy who's getting her wake-up call? There was oh yeah, I remember. Oprah. Oprah is getting her wake-up call. See, she's now trying to save her public image because she knew she screwed up when she decided to go after Michael Jackson, who died 10 years ago, and then tried to believe two white white males liars, known liars, and that fake documentary created by that director that was nothing more than a hit piece that to attack Michael Jackson and get some money out of his estate. And a lot of people are now starting to catch on, and Oprah deleted all her comments, and now she's trying to save face and trying to clean up her image, trying to restore herself by going on Daily Show and doing other things. It's not going to work. Eventually, karma is coming to her. Her stock is going down at Weight Watchers. More people are starting to hate her, and we need to get on her butt. We're not going to let Oprah get any passes no more. But here's...
And you know what? I was saying this the other day that I'm so glad that when I did a couple of episodes that came out, and people just...
She even looks nervous. She looks like she's a person suffering from a wake-up call.
Imagine had that happened now. Imagine if that had happened now in that social media. So I had a lot of information. But I also, when I first saw that documentary, I realized that a lot of people are going to get triggered. Are going to be triggered by watching that here. And that a lot of people will not understand what the pattern is. Because I have done 217 shows trying to get people to understand that it's not about one person, that it is about the pattern.
Well, I bet it's not about Michael Jackson.
And people call it molestation, but there is a big seducing that goes on.
No, it was a hit piece to attack Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's been dead for, what did I just say again? How long he's been dead? 10 years. He died June 29th, 2019 from cardiac arrest. They have always been targeting Michael Jackson because he was a successful black singer who was even willing to stand up against the record labels, even to the point where he ended up owning a piece of them after winning against them. He talked about the corruption after that the molestation charges was actually a front created by the establishment to target him because they know that to destroy a black man, you use rape or murder. You accuse them of rape and murder. You destroy, even if they're innocent, that destroys the reputation. Even when Michael Jackson was found not guilty, went through FBI, I mean, he probably went through the CIA, found no evidence, found not guilty, acquitted. When he died, many people were even questioning the fact that he did die. Michael Jackson won all his masters. See, when an artist gets his masters and stuff, that artist is actually in more danger. And all of a sudden, at least half of the artists who get their masters, they end up being thrown in jail for a crime, whether they committed it or not, or they end up dead. Look at the point of Michael Jackson. Look at Tupac. Look at Prince. I'm not sure if Tupac ever owned his masters, but I know Prince, he was another one that was being screwed over by record labels. And he got his masters, and then all of a sudden, he died. That's why there are some artists who are still alive who got their full masters. They need to be 100% careful, because sometimes owning your masters means you're distancing yourselves away from these big record labels. LL Cool J, when he made his 13th album, he made it because it was the only way he could get out of his deal with Def Jam, was to make 13 albums. That's why he titled it Exit 13. Now, the thing was, he had to also retire from his career, end his rap career, and continue on with his acting career, like in NCIS. is because he was getting too old and he wasn't coming up with any more music no more. But he tried to get out of his deal earlier where he wanted to continue his career without Def Jam. But Def Jam put him in a contract where he had to make 13 albums in order to get out of his contract if it didn't expire or get extended, was to make 13 albums. So he ended up, though he had a good record music career, he wasted it on one record label instead of never getting the chance to explore other record labels because of that. And that's why some artists today, they're using social media, building their own record labels, or using social media to boost their music career without the big record labels because of the evils of the record labels. I know how this is kind of a little off topic, but yeah. You see, the reason why Oprah was volunteering to defend the two men that lied is because she has a history of attacking black males. She does not like black men. She doesn't even like black women. Otherwise, she would work with black women. But she tried to persuade black women that they don't need no men. No, what she's really saying is a dog whistle to separate from black men, to destroy, cause dysfunction between black males and black females. She hates her own community because she wished she was white, and because her uncle molested her years ago, and because she sees that white people get so better treatment, she wished she was white. So she wanted to do everything to impress white people so they can give her stuff. It knows that cooning and portraying the black race is the only way to get it in this country. And now she is facing the karma. People are now caught on to her stick. And people are now starting to get tired of it. There are still people who are willing to cape for her, but at least now more people are now also starting to see that stick, to see that. Hey Gab, what's up? I didn't see you. What's up, Kemet God? I didn't see it. Hasn't been no new people in the chat room, so probably most of the people were just listening. So I didn't see y'all, but hey, welcome. But yeah. Hey Nikki, what's up? Yep. Oh, there's a link if you want to come in the chat room, the panel. The link is right up there. Hangout. We was talking about a few things for those who are just coming in. Yeah, that is an issue that I've been having. A lot of people have been having that issue that no one is getting notifications. So here's what you need to do for the notification situation. If you're not getting any notifications of my videos or live streams, hit that unclick the bell and then re-click it. Also unclick and then re-click the subscriber button. That kind of might reset yourself and see if that might help you get more notifications next time. But yeah, that's been happening to a lot of people's channels, especially channels like mine. People are not getting notifications of live streams. So, and make sure you tell anyone who may also be subscribed to me or wants to be subscribed to me in that case. But yeah, we was also talking about the Candace Owens situation. You can also catch some of this stuff that I talked about on the replay. Hey, My Tribe TV. If there's anything you missed, you can always check the replay. But like I said, if you're not getting notifications, the best thing you can do is unsubscribe, resubscribe, unhit that notification bell, re-hit that notification bell so that you will get notifications. Also, when I sometimes do announcements on that I'm doing a live stream, make sure that I will sometimes put a link so you can hit that reminder when you see when it says when you see that I might be doing a live stream, go to set reminder, hit that set reminder, and that also helps you get better notification that I'm doing a live stream. But yeah, the notification situation, Nikki, has been a problem. If you feel like you missed anything, just check out the replay of this live stream. I will just watch the replay of anything you may have missed, and you'll be able to watch the stuff what I talked about earlier if you haven't been here. Because I'm pretty much covered a lot of the stuff. I do want to show this real quick. Shout out to the Fly Nubian Queen, the Fly Nubian Queen, and to Vicky. It looks like Candace Owens, her cooning has now got her nominated for Butter Biscuit of the Decade. And see Candace Owens with her Make America Garbage hat. I talked about Oprah, how she's getting her wake-up calls. Maybe not big wake-up call yet, but it's getting there. I talked about the fire bombs and how a Latino gang or gang member is being sentenced for the fire bombs. And then I also talked about how a deputy's son by the name of Holding Matthews was responsible for the bombing of or burnings, arson of several black churches in Louisiana. And then I also talked about that lesbian couple that killed their own stepkids in a murder-suicide. That's what I talked about earlier in the video. I do want to show this thing before I wrap things up. I do want to show this other thing that I meant to show. Now focus on the woman with the backpack. The woman in the backpack and some kind of tan shirt is the main focus. That woman is former actress, this woman right here, and star of, sorry about that. This is Alyssa Mack. You know what? That's it. No, I got another article. All right, here. Alyssa Mack. She was one of the female stars of a show called Smallville that used to air on the WB channel, today now called the CW Network. and she pled guilty to being involved in an alleged sex cult where she even was involved with branding people. People were being branded. Yet the people that are not targeting her were the people that went after R. Kelly. They went after R. Kelly over his cult. But I didn't hear about, and some of those women said that they were willing to go to R. Kelly's thing. But I didn't hear about no R. Kelly branding people, or if they were being. I mean, some women said that he was abusive, but why did they go after him and not Alyssa Mack? Number one, she's white and she's female, and also because CNN and AT&T own pieces of Warner Brothers, which was one of the distributors for the Smallville show. AT&T, Time Warner, Warner Media, they own CNN, they own Warner Brothers, so they weren't going to attack anyone associated with any properties under Warner Brothers, like Smallville, because Smallville was a DC Comics show because it talks about the early days of Superman. They weren't going to attack anyone that's associated with Warner Brothers. And of course, even friends outside of Time Warner / Warner Media and AT&T are not going to attack. But they were willing to attack R. Kelly because he was a black male, a black alpha straight male, whether you like him or not. They do not like black males who are with women of any kind, including our own women. They do not want black men to be with our own women, black women. But they try to give Alyssa Mack a pass, but eventually a judge says she has to go on trial, and she has pleaded guilty. Now, we don't know if she's going to actually face jail time, but why is no national news, or we kind of explain why no national media is targeting Alyssa Mack the way they targeted R. Kelly. Now, like I said, there's a link up there if anyone wants to get on the panel and maybe do some free talking. If not, then I'm going to wrap this up, and maybe we'll try something in the next live stream if that's going to be the case. If you missed any topics, then once again, like I said, check out the replay. If you're having trouble getting notifications, make sure you unsubscribe, then resubscribe, unclick that notification bell, then re-click that notification bell so you'll be able to get notifications. Make sure that the little lines, that the notification bell is activated so you can get notifications. Also, make sure you do that as well. But sometimes they will unnotify you, and sometimes they will unclick that notification bell and without you even knowing. So check every once in a while to my channel to make sure that notification bell is 100% hit. Because some people do not want to hear my message or hear what I want people to hear what I have to say. And some of them happen to be within you know where. But you know what? I'm thinking about to wrap this up because I think that's all the topics. I might talk about more topics later in the future or in other videos. But I think I'm going to end this from there. Um, I hope to do another live stream in the future. But thank you for those who were able to watch. If you, like I said, if you missed anything, just check out the replay. And that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for your time. And I hope to catch y'all in another video or live stream. Peace, everyone.